Hey guys, welcome back to YKB, Why Keep the Box Collecting, where we immediately destroy the value of our figures and free them for their plastic and cardboard prison. It's Marge and Maggie. Now, I picked this figure up at Target. I can't remember the price, but I bought it for retail because I had the entire family minus Marge and Maggie. So to finish off the team, I paid full price. Wish I waited to Ross, but you know with these things, sometimes it never happens. Let's take it to the table. All right, so we have the Margie and Maggie, I guess, 2-pack because it has both their names on it. Um, Realistically, it's just Marge with a Maggie accessory, but that's fine. I'm happy that I don't have to go out and buy another figure just for a baby. I don't need to do no Hasbro Rocket Raccoon and buy an entire figure that's about as big as my thumb for the same price as a normal standard figure. But, you know, I'm going on to a tangent. This box is pretty just standard for when it comes to Jakks Pacific Simpsons line. I'm not going to say it's bad because what I've learned from these other figures is this box is reusable. Once you open it up, you can literally put the figures back in it. It's not like the other boxes that are one and done. Once you open the figure, you can't put it back in. You can definitely reuse this box. But here at the YKB, we don't care about boxes, so second I get open her up, which I'm doing the second, it is gone because you need a reason to keep your box, and extra storage isn't something I want. Or extra storage in plastic, I mean. Here is her in the plastic, and as you can see the indentions and everything. You can very much reuse this after taking it out and putting it back in and X, Y's, and Z's. Here's her in the plastic. There's Maggie. Just gonna get close on her because I'm trying to get this Marge to stand, but she has Hasbro women feet. So the second I put her down on the stand, she knocks everything over, and it's just annoying. Let's just move this out the way anyway. So for the most part, here's Marge. I think that it's a good job they went with a softer plastic for the bottom so you can use some of these legs, because when it came to like Lisa, that plastic dress really just made it too hard to really move. And here's Maggie. And like clearly she's either from wave 2 or 3. So let me look real fast. This looks like wave 3. Now I could be wrong, probably am, but they probably heard the complaints from the other earlier waves and fixed them. They do look a lot shinier, much more like Lisa than Bart and Homer, but I don't know, it works. These figures really look good. Hit me with all the nostalgia. Didn't she just pass away in the show recently? I think she did. So, you know, things are changing in the Simpsons land. But, you know, when it's a cartoon, everyone can be brought back to life. And I was about to say, let's go look at her accessory. That's Marge. That's Maggie right here, not Marge. So, let's go look at her. I really do like what they did with this. You know, they did the baby legs flat and gave it a peg, but also put a ball joint so you can get all that range. You know, she definitely doesn't have as much mobility as the other ones, but there still is some there. You know, looks great. I would consider this more of a 2-pack than I would call it an accessory. That's besides the point. Now I finally got her to stand after long takes of trying to do this. So I'm going to quickly get this height before she falls. And she's about, I'm going to call it 6 inches. It's a little bit shy, very little bit shy of 6 inches. Because her head kind of like bolts back a little bit. Maggie is about 2 inches. From side to side, she's about 1.5 inches. From side to side, Maggie's about 1 inch. So, you know, they're not going to take up a crazy amount of room on the shelf. You know, it's very much going to work for your collection. And finally here, I got the entire family lined up. For the most part, they look good together. Very much happy that I got all of them because, you know, why else do you need to buy a line of figures other than just getting the main family? You know, I do have Mo over here as well. Line them up just to see for sizing. And we have Krusty the Clown over here as well, just making it way too hard to see everybody. But that is for, you know, the lining of the family. You can see everybody. But let's get these two out. You know, they look good together. They look good with each other. I'm so happy to finally get them all. I'm so happy I found her at Ross. And I'm happy to find Marge and Maggie to finish all the set and that he didn't split them up into two. They work good with each other. The heights all look good with each other. I'm happy to have them. Dragging on. Let's just get back to the review. Alrighty, let's get her moving. She can do a T-pose. She has bicep swivel. Single jointed, can go over 90. Arms move around. And the legs are a little bit harder because this is a harder plastic. Can she technically do a split? No, that's about as far as she goes out. Legs technically do 90, but you really have to force it. And, you know, I'm not trying to break my figure. The legs, there's a ball in there, but it doesn't move that much. The legs are on a ball. So, you know, and the head spins. This is two separate pieces you can clearly see, but, you know, I don't want to force it too much and break it off. But, you know, she's not that articulatable. And the peg system they use is terrible because it's very hard to get her to stand. Unlike her daughter, which, let me see if I can't just try. Your boy's getting good at this. So, unlike Maggie, which can stand really easily because this is flat. T-pose, arm goes all the way around, head spins, ball joint at the waist. So, you know, it works. And it looks good. And that's their articulation. Alrighty, so I have Maggie and Marge standing up here. And why not see how they compare to other figures not from their collection? First up, and I knew that was going to happen, it's a NECA turtle. The wind is starting to blow, so it's hard to keep her standing. McFarlane Spawn. G.I. Joe Classified Series. Marvel Legends. Star Wars Black Series. SH Figure Arts Naruto. Loyal Subjects Inc. Yeah, the heights work pretty well. You know, it's a shorter line, so you can't expect them to be perfect. What else can I say about this Marge and Maggie? I'm happy that I got them in the collection. They very much was that, you know, finish off the set. And yeah, I know I have some other figures from The Simpsons, but realistically, you have these 5. You don't need any more. So, for more reviews like this, come to the YKB, like, share, subscribe, and I'm out. Definitely, if you can pick up this set for those Ross prices, I would get them. If not, I wouldn't. I don't know. Nostalgia is a strong drug.